Good day, grade 7. For today's lesson, we are going to have another topic in geometry, and it's all about polygons. In this video, we're going to learn what polygons are and tell whether a given figure is a polygon or not. We will also learn how to identify its parts and classify the polygon according to its number of sides, convexity, and congruence of its parts. First, let us define what polygon is. It comes from the two Greek words poly meaning many and gonia or gon meaning angle. Thus, the word polygon means many angles. Another definition is, it is a closed plane figure formed by connecting three or more segments such that these segments are non-collinear and do not cross each other. So, take note that a polygon is composed of three or more segments which are non-collinear. Okay? So, meaning, ang minimum number of segments po na mayroon ng isang polygon ay tatlo lamang. And take note that these segments must not be collinear and do not cross each other. Okay? And the segments are connected at the endpoints para siya ay maging isang closed plane figure. The following are polygons, while the second set of figures are not polygons. So as you can see, in the set of figures above, the segments are connected at their endpoints. All of them are closed, and no segments are crossing each other. Unlike in the second set, in the first figure, the endpoints of the two segments are not connected, therefore, it is not closed. Okay, so ganun din po itong sa second figure, hindi rin connected yung dalawang endpoints ng segment. And then sa third figure, two segments are crossing each other. And then sa fourth figure naman po, meron po tayong three segments coming from this point. Okay? And while in the fifth figure, there are two segments that form a larger or a longer segment which makes them collinear. Okay? So take note again that polygons are composed of three or more line segments joining at their endpoints, and they are not collinear and they do not cross each other. A polygon cannot be curved. Okay, so dapat po lahat ng line segments na bumubuo sa polygon ay straight. Okay, so this is not a polygon. A polygon must be closed. So sabi ko nga kanina, dapat po yung mga line segments ay nag-join at their endpoint. So dapat siya ay closed. So this also is not a polygon. Each segment intersects exactly two other segments, one at each endpoint. No two segments with a common endpoint are collinear. Okay, so just like in the given figures, make sure that the segment intersects exactly two other segments, one at each endpoint. So in the second figure, as you can see, the segments are intersecting two other segments at the same endpoint. Okay? So, hindi po yan pwede. Dapat po ay dun po sa magkabilang endpoint ini-intersect. Okay? And then, in this figure naman, dun sa una, there are three segments which are collinear. Okay? So, hindi siya maaaring maging isang polygon. So now let us practice identifying the given figure if it is a polygon or not. First figure, okay, it is a polygon since it is closed and all the sides are straight segments. How about the second figure? Okay, it is not a polygon since two segments are not connected to each other. Okay, it is not closed. How about the third? Correct. The third figure is also not a polygon since it has a curved segment here. Okay? So how about our fourth figure? Correct. It is a polygon since it is closed and all the segments are straight and joining at their endpoints. For our fifth figure, that's correct. It is a polygon as well. And for the last figure, correct. It is not a polygon since there are two segments crossing each other. So now let us identify and name the different parts of a polygon, starting with the vertex. The vertex is the intersection of two segments in a polygon. In plural form, it is called vertices. In our figure here, we have 5 segments connected at their endpoints. And as you can see, meron po tayong 5 intersection. At ang mga intersection pong ito ay points. Okay? So, para mapangalanan po natin ang vertices ng polygon na ito, gagamitin natin yung paraan kung paano magpangalan ng isang point. And that is, we have point D, point E, point A, point B, and point C. So, don't forget, nalalagyan po natin ng point na symbol bago po yung capital letter. Okay? And always remember to use capital letters since we are naming points. So, how do we name a polygon? We name all polygons by listing their consecutive vertices. Natatandaan po, consecutive means dapat po ay magkakasunod. So, ngayon, since we have here 5 different points or 5 vertices, so we can either choose if we're going to do it clockwise or yung papunta po sa kanan or counterclockwise yung papunta naman po sa kaliwa. As long as ililista po natin yung mga letters consecutively. For example, this polygon can be named as polygon ABCDE. Pwede ring BCDEA, CDEAB, and so on and so forth. So all in all, meron po tayong 10 possible names para po sa ating polygon na ito. So pagdami po syempre ng vertices, pagdami rin po ng paraan kung paano natin papangalanan yung isang polygon. The next part of a polygon is what we call sides. Okay? So the sides are the segments joining two consecutive vertices. Sabi ko nga po kanina, di ba, meron tayong 5 segments po sa ating polygon. Okay? At para pangalanan po natin yung mga sides po ng ating polygon, syempre po, since they are line segments, ang pagpapangalan natin sa kanila is kung paano tayo magpangalan ng isang line segment. And that is by using the endpoints, okay? The 2 capital letters, and then lalagyan po natin ng line segment or ng bar sa taas ng 2 letters, okay? For example, this side can be named as line segment DE or pwede naman pong line segment ED. This side can be named as line segment EA or AE. The third side can be named as line segment AB or BA. The fourth side can be named as line segment BC or CB. And the last side can be named as line segment CD or DC. So we have 5 sides in this polygon. The next part is what we call the diagonals. Kanina po yung sides, these are segments connecting consecutive vertices. Ito naman pong diagonals, these are segments joining any two non-consecutive vertices. So, dapat po hindi niya katabi yung vertex na kanyang i-connect. Okay? So, in this polygon, in our figure, we have the first diagonal, which is connecting point C and point A. So we can name this diagonal as line segment CA or AC. Another diagonal is from B to E. So this is line segment BE or EB. We also have line segment BD or DB, line segment AD or DA, and line segment CE or EC. So all in all, we have 5 distinct line segments or diagonals in this 5-sided polygon. So let us discover more about the diagonals of a polygon. When a polygon has 3 vertices, so usually it is a triangle like this, the number of diagonals from each vertex is 0. Okay? Since, as you can see, wala naman pong non-consecutive vertices yung bawat vertex po natin. Okay? Since tatatlo lang naman po sila. Okay? Wala po tayong maidodrawing na diagonal from each vertex. And since wala nga po tayong kayang i-drawing na diagonal, of course, the total number of diagonals will also be 0. Next is for a polygon with 4 vertices. So this is usually illustrated by this. It has 4 sides. From each vertex po, meron po tayong tig-isa. Okay, tig-isang diagonal. Therefore, we have 1. Okay, and then all in all, there are 2 diagonals. While in a polygon with 5 vertices, which is drawn like this one, so tulad nung kaninang figure natin, from each vertex, we always have 2 diagonals drawn. Okay? So, dalawa bawat vertex. And all in all, meron po tayong 5. If the polygon has 6 vertices naman po, so ganito po ang kanyang magiging itsura. And as you can see, there are always 3 diagonals drawn from each vertex. And all in all, we have 9 distinct diagonals. For a polygon with 7 vertices, ganito po ang itsura niya. As you can see, there are 4 diagonals drawn from each vertex. All in all, we have 14 diagonals. While in a polygon with 8 vertices, ganito po ang kanyang itsura. We have 5 diagonals from each vertex and all in all, we have 20. So kung mapapansin nyo po, pagdami ng sides or ng vertices ng polygon, pagdami rin ng diagonals. So, dun po sa number of diagonals from each vertex, habang nadadagdagan ng isa yung ating vertices, nadadagdagan din ng isa yung ating number of diagonals from each vertex. Okay? So, meron po tayong linear relationship. So, pag-increase po ng isa sa number of vertices, same po yung changes na nangyayari sa diagonals. So, meaning, if we have n number of vertices, ano po yung gagawin natin to get the number of diagonals from each vertex without drawing the polygon? Of course, magiging tasky po kapag dinrawing natin palagi yung polygon at nilagyan ng mga diagonals. Let's say, for example, the number of sides given is 15. Or the number of sides given is 100. So, that's a lot. Okay? So, napakadami pong sides nun para i-drawing. Napakahirap. So, ganito po ang ating gagawin. So, as you can see, dun po sa mga previous values na nakuha natin kanina, the number of diagonals from each vertex is always 3 less than the number of vertices. Okay? So, lagi siyang 3 less than the number of vertices. 7 minus 3 is 4. 8 minus 3 is 5. Meaning, if we have n number of vertices, the number of diagonals will be n minus 3. Babawasan lang po natin siya ng 3. So, kung ang n po natin ay 100, edi 100 minus 3 is 97. O, diba? Napakadami nun. Ang hirap i-drawing. So, how about sa number or total number of diagonals? So, as you can see, the total number of diagonals is always 1/2 the product of the number of vertices and the number of diagonals from each vertex. Okay, so let's prove that. 7 times 4 is 28. Divided by 2, that's 14. 8 times 5 is 40. Divided by 2 is 20. So, meaning, kapag po meron tayong n number of vertices, imumultiply lang po natin siya by n minus 3 and then divide the product by 2. In symbols, we can write it as n times the quantity n minus 3 all over 2. So, ito po yung mga formula na gagamitin natin para syempre hindi na tayo mahirapan na mag-drawing. N minus 3 if we want to know how many diagonals can be drawn from each vertex. And n times n minus 3 over 2 if we want to know the total number of diagonals in a certain polygon. So let us now apply the formula in solving for the following. Given is a polygon with 10 sides. Determine the number of diagonals from each vertex. So the formula that we will be using is n minus 3 since ang hinahanap lang naman po is yung number of diagonals from a vertex. So substitute 10 to n and it will become 10 minus 3 and 10 minus 3 is 7. Meaning po, meron pong 7 diagonals po ang bawat vertex ng isang decagon. Okay? And then, determine the total number of diagonals. So we will be using the other formula which is n times quantity n minus 3 all over 2. Substituting 10, we will get 10 times 10 minus 3 all over 2. And since kailangan po nating sundin ng PEMDAS, uunahin natin yung nasa loob ng parenthesis. 10 minus 3 is 7 and multiply 7 to 10, it will be 70. 70 divided by 2 is equal to 35. So that means, all in all, meron pong 35 diagonals ang isang decagon. Okay, so that's how we find the number of diagonals from each vertex and the total number of diagonals. The next part of a polygon is what we call the interior angles. These are the angles inside the polygon and formed by any two consecutive sides. Tandaan po na ang angle po ay binubuo po ng segments, rays, or lines joined at one endpoint. Okay, and this endpoint is called the vertex nga po. Okay, so in our given polygon here, as you can see, there are 5 interior angles. Okay, the first interior angle is formed by side CD and side DE, and the vertex is point D. Now, this angle can be named as simply angle D, or we can use 3 letters, angle CDE. Okay, so pag po kailangan maging specific natin, mas specific, we will use 3 letters po. Okay, and then this angle can be named as angle E or angle DEA. This angle can be named as angle A or angle EAB. The fourth angle can be named as angle B or angle ABC. And the last angle can be named as angle C or angle BCD. So, pwedeng magkabaliktad po yung first at saka yung third letters. Ang CDE ay pwedeng EDC. Ang DEA ay pwedeng AED as long as yung ating pong vertex ay laging nasa gitna. Okay? So these are again the interior angles of this polygon, of polygon ABCDE. Siyempre, kung may interior angles, meron din pong exterior angles. Exterior angles are the angles outside the polygon formed by extending the sides. So ngayon, hindi nyo pa makikita muna yung mga exterior angles natin. Kailangan po na mag-extend tayo ng segments or sides para po mabuo natin yung exterior angles. For example, we have angle 1, which is adjacent to the interior angle, angle CDE. We have angle 2, na adjacent naman po kay angle DEA. Angle 3, angle 4, and angle 5. Okay, so we have 5 exterior angles, and each exterior angle is adjacent to an interior angle. So notice also na nagfo-form po ng linear pair yung interior angle at yung exterior angle. Okay? So ang pag-extend na ginawa po natin is counterclockwise. So pwede rin naman po na gawing clockwise yung atin pong pag-extend. Halimbawa, if we want to extend this side, segment DE dito sa kabilang endpoint, for example, ganyan po, we will form another exterior angle. So, this is exterior angle, let's say 6. Okay? And notice also na yung angle 2 and angle 6 ay vertical angles, meaning parehas sila ng measurement. So, kahit alin po yung i-extend natin na side, same lang po yung measurement ng exterior angle na makukuha po natin. Okay? So, therefore, mayroon lamang pong 5 exterior angles ang isang polygon na may 5 sides. Okay? So, kung ilan ang interior, yun din po yung exterior niya. Let us now move on to the classifications of a polygon based on its convexity. So, meron po tayong tinatawag na convex polygon at concave polygon. Ano yung pinagkaiba nila? In a convex polygon, all interior angles measure less than 180 degrees. Okay, so pwede siyang maging obtuse, pwede siyang acute, or right. Basta dapat po ay less than 180 degrees. While in a concave polygon, at least one interior angle measures greater than 180 degrees. So that means at least one of the interior angles is reflex. Okay? Reflex po means more than 180 degrees na po yung measurement. Next is, all the diagonals of a convex polygon lie entirely inside the polygon. Okay? So, pag tinrawing nyo lahat ng diagonals niya, nasa loob lang po ito ng ating polygon. While in a concave polygon, not all the diagonals lie entirely inside the polygon. So, here are some illustrations. Yan, sa atin pong convex polygon, as you can see, dun po sa first figure natin, all the angles are obtuse. Okay? And since obtuse po yun, that is less than 180 degrees. And then, on the second figure naman po, the two diagonals are both inside the polygon. Okay? So, this polygon. In the second set of figures naman, as you can see in the first figure, meron po tayong isang angle which is more than 180 degrees. Okay? So, it's more than a straight angle na po, and that is a reflex angle. Okay? So, ito pong may arc na yan ay it shows that the angle is reflex. Okay? And then, on the second figure naman, so, drawing all the diagonals, meron po tayo ditong dalawang diagonals in which meron po siyang part na lumabas na po ng ating polygon. Okay? So, yan po yung examples ng concave polygon. So, ang isa nyong tatandaan, pag concave polygon, may mga vertices na inward. Okay? May mga sides po na papasok. Unlike po dito sa convex, puro outward po yung direction po ng ating mga sides. Okay? So, meron pa pong isang test para malaman natin kung convex or concave. So, convex po if no line that contains a side of the polygon contains a point in the interior of the polygon. In short, when we extend all the sides, wala pong dadaan sa interior ng ating polygon. Okay? So, that's convex. While in a non-convex or concave polygon, if a line does contain a side of the polygon containing a point on the interior of the polygon. So, meaning po, kapag in-extend natin yung mga sides, kapag meron po dyan na dumaan sa interior ng polygon natin, then that means the polygon is concave or non-convex. So now, let us practice what you have learned. Identify if the given polygon is a convex or concave. First figure. Correct. This is a convex polygon. Second figure. That's correct. This is a concave polygon. Third figure. Correct. This is also a concave polygon. And for the fourth figure, very good. This is a convex polygon. So, the difference po between concave and convex based on our given figures. So, ito pong mga sides na to, pag in-extend natin, magpapass through the interior of the polygon. Okay? Which makes them concave polygons. Unlike the two other figures, kapag in-extend natin yung mga sides na yan, wala pong magpapass through the interior. Let's have another set. Fifth figure. Correct. This is a concave polygon. Sixth figure is correct. This is a convex polygon. How about the seventh figure? That's correct. This is a concave polygon. And the last figure, very good. This is also a concave polygon. And now you have learned the difference between concave and convex polygons. Let us now move on to the different names of polygons according to the number of sides. Kanina, classifications based on the convexity. Ngayon naman, based on the number of sides. When the polygon has 3 sides, ang tawag po ay triangle. So, ito po yung example natin. Kapag naman po 4 sides, ang tawag po ay quadrilateral. So, yung mga rectangle, mga square pong yan, ay lahat sila ay quadrilateral. Pag 5 sides naman po ay pentagon. Kapag po 6 sides ay hexagon. Tatandaan nyo lang po yung mga prefixes natin, which indicate the number of sides. So, tri means 3, quad means 4, penta means 5, hexa means 6, and then hepta means 7. So, pag po 7 ang sides, heptagon ang tawag. So, ganito naman ang itsura niya. And then, if the polygon has 8 sides, it's an octagon. Kapag 9 sides, it's a nonagon. Kapag 10 sides po, it's a decagon. Kapag 11 sides, ang tawag po ay undecagon or hendecagon. And kapag 12 sides naman po, ang tawag ay Decagon. So, kung mapapansin niyo po, pag dami ng sides, the more it will look like a circle. Okay? So, meaning kapag 100 na yung sides, mas mukha na siyang bilog or circle. So, that is, of course, if the polygon is convex. Okay? So, ngayon, kapag naman po yung ibang number of sides naman, ang general name po natin ay n-gon. Okay? So, ito po mga special names na to. So, pwedeng sauluhin nyo na siya. And then, para naman po dun sa 13 and above, since we cannot provide all the special names for those polygons, we will use the general form, which is n-gon. For example, if the polygon has 45 sides, then we can call it a 45-gon. If the polygon has 100 sides, then we can call it a 100-gon. Of course, kapag ni-research nyo po, maaaring makita nyo po yung special names nila. But since hindi naman po laging available po yun, hindi natin laging pwedeng gawin. So, let's just use the general format, which is n-gon. We can also classify polygons in terms of the congruency of its parts. So, ang mga classifications pong ito ay tinatawag na equilateral, equiangular, and regular. So, ano nga ba yung pinagkaiba-iba nitong tatlong to? A polygon is equilateral if all of its sides are congruent. Again, kapag sinabi pong congruent, same po ang measurement. And in this case, since we are talking about the sides of the polygon, then that means all of the sides have the same or equal length. Okay? So, kapag hindi po naka-indicate yung length niya, usually, you can see these symbols. Meron po siyang guhit na pare-parehas po dapat. So, tig-iisang guhit, ibig sabihin, pare-parehas sila ng haba or ng length. Okay? So, pwede nating tawagin ngayon itong polygon na to na isang equilateral hexagon since meron siyang 6 na sides. Okay? At equal lahat ng kanyang sides. Next is what we call the equiangular polygon. And the polygon is equiangular if all of its angles are congruent. This time, angles ang pinag-uusapan natin. Okay? So, kapag po congruent ang angles, ganito yung makikita nyong symbol. Okay? So, pare-parehas po siya ng symbol. Meron po siyang curved line. Okay? So, it indicates that the measurement of the angles are the same. Then, we can call this polygon an equiangular pentagon since 5 po yung sides niya. Okay, so equiangular pentagon. Third and the last is what we call the regular polygon. And a polygon is regular if it is both equilateral and equiangular. Okay? So, meaning a polygon can be equilateral, it can be equiangular, and it can be both equilateral and equiangular. And if that's the case, the polygon is a regular polygon. Okay? So, syempre, dahil equilateral siya at equiangular, edi parehas na po ng mga symbols. Okay? Yung sides natin, pare-parehas po siyang may one line, and then yung mga angles natin, pare-parehas po siyang may curve. Okay, so that indicates that all the sides are equal and all the angles are equal as well. Okay, so we can call this polygon a regular octagon since 8 po yung sides niya. Okay, so it's a regular octagon. Tandaan po, ang isang polygon ay pwedeng maging equilateral lang, pwedeng maging equiangular lang, pwede siyang parehas. Okay? So, kung hindi po siya regular, we can also call it as irregular polygon. So here are other examples. This figure can be classified simply as convex hexagon since as you can see, wala naman pong indications na congruent yung segments or sides at congruent yung mga angles niya. So, wala po tayong makikitang symbol. So, we can simply call it a convex hexagon. Well, this one, same po nung kanina, there are no indications po na congruent yung sides niya. Okay, of course, this is concave automatic. The angles are not congruent because there are angles which are reflex. Okay, so since wala pong congruent dyan, we can simply call it a concave octagon. So, bilangin niyo lang po yung sides. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, 8 sides. Kaya po siya octagon. And for this figure naman, halimbawa, napakaraming sides yan. So, yan po ay actually meron siyang 16 sides. Okay? And since we can clearly see that this is a concave polygon, then we can call this a concave 16gon. Okay? So, concave po siya. Obvious naman po na hindi equal yung mga sides niya. So, this figure naman po, as you can see, meron po siyang mga curved lines, yung lahat ng angles niya, which indicate that all the angles are equal in measure. And if that's the case, then we can call this polygon an equiangular octagon. Okay? So, simply an equiangular octagon kasi hindi naman natin alam kung yung mga sides ba ay congruent. Actually, obvious naman na hindi congruent kasi mahaba po itong dalawang vertical. Next is, we have here a pentagon. Okay? So, with equal sides kasi meron siyang mga symbol sa sides na pare-parehas. Which means, we can call this an equilateral pentagon. Okay? So, obvious naman po na hindi congruent yung mga angles kasi ito, halimbawa, this is acute and then the two angles here are obtuse and then yung nasa baba, mukha silang right angle. So, hindi sila pare-parehas kaya equilateral pentagon lang ito. And then this one, for this figure naman po, as you can see, all the sides are congruent and all the angles are congruent as well. So, this polygon can be called as regular hexagon. And how about this one? So, as you can see, there are also no indications that the sides are congruent. So, it's obvious naman na hindi. Ano po? So, we can simply call this polygon a concave Decagon since it has 12 sides, okay, and the shape is concave. For our last figure, we have a heptagon. And as you can see, may mga symbols yung sides natin. Pero, kung mapapansin nyo po, magkakaiba siya ng symbol. May isa lang, may dalawa, may tatlo, which means they are not all congruent to each other. Meron lang dalawa na parehas, pero hindi silang lahat ay pare-parehas, which means that this is just a concave heptagon. It's not equilateral. Okay? And actually, it's irregular kasi magkakaiba ng mga measurement talaga yung sides at angles. So, this one is an irregular concave heptagon. So that's it for today's lesson. I hope you've learned a lot from this video. Thank you for watching. For the second part of our discussion about polygons, which is about the relationship of the angles of a polygon, please do watch the recommended video. Again, thank you and God bless everyone.